Hello and welcome to Let's Get Biblical. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Aisha. We're just
We're
going
not
by
saying,
first names now. We don't even
yeah,
have to
no,
say our
we're not
last
giving
name.
people out our last names. No more.
We are the artists formerly known as Jonathan Giles and Aisha Alpha, now only known as Jonathan, and there's an accent and a dollar sign in there, and Aisha. And I
Ooh.
have some Greek letters and also an emoji.
Also, if you want to give me like the fish hook emoji, that could be the J.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
I love that that's the emoji we're using. I was thinking of a poop emoji, but that
Oh,
works too.
for like the O?
I
Or
didn't really didn't think about what
didn't know
letters. I
where
was
it
just thinking about
goes.
which emoji I wanted.
Poop goes wherever it wants to.
No,
You
and
don't tell
ain't
poop where
that
to
the
go.
truth? Okay, I'm a mom of small kids. Poop goes where it wants to go. Okay, you cannot contain it.
No, you sure can't. Just like you can't contain where this show might go.
Yo, look at that look at that segue, that professional segue back into getting to the next beat of our script.
Okay, so as we talked about before today's call, I came to this episode very ill prepared.
And that's just the way we like it, isn't it, Jesus? Yeah, baby.
Was not expecting that. I was not expecting tiny Jesus to come in and affirm my shortcomings.
You know what? This is the brilliance of this podcast is we have a theme, okay? And it's not about being accurate. It's about the feelings that it gave you, okay? It's about remembering through the body and through sense and smell and touch, you know? So it's not so just let's take yourself off that fish hook and let's give you a break because we're just having a good old time here.
All right, yeah, let's have some fun. And I think what could be more fun than for me to tell you the story of Sodom and Gomorrah
There's
as
nothing more
I
fun than
remember
that.
it.
I love it. I love it. Let's dive in.
Let's dive in. Okay, so there is a Bible character whose name was Lot. If I am being honest, I don't remember who Lot was begotten to or became from. He was just a dude,
Just some guy,
just
Lot,
some guy.
with a very distinct name. I've never really
Okay.
met anyone
Yeah,
called Lot.
some guy named Lot, and he probably. I like to think he is the inventor of the parking lot.
Ooh, oh, the lots of the parking lot family.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, the lots of Manchester where everyone talks.
I'm from the lot of the big lots lot family. I love our idea of what rich people are.
Yeah, they have coats that they have to hold together.
And they always have to be moving their arms from me. Oh.
They're like cats.
Really? Oh my gosh, we think rich people are cats. That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's
they're
what it
cats,
is.
and they're all kind of
Little
like kind of
coat.
horny. They're like, oh,
They're horny and cold, so they need that coat, but they really need to
yes,
shimmy those shoulders
cold.
too.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, the southern lots. Oh, naughtiest of the lots.
The naughty lotties. Ooh.
Ooh, look at that naughty lottie. I don't want to get naughty all over that lottie. The slurp snort is the best snort of all. And everything we're doing is so in tune with the story, so I'm glad we're doing it. So Lot and his family lived in Sodom and Gomorrah. Maybe they lived in Gomorrah. But Sodom and Gomorrah had it had a reputation. It was a party city. Think Vegas. What happens in Sodom and Gomorrah stays in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Love it.
Yes. God sent an angel to Lot and his family because I think for whatever reason God liked Lot and his family. And I think it was like two angels. And I think if I remember right, the Bible talks about they were attractive. Like they were good looking angels.
Okay. I didn't
And
realize that
so,
angels could be unattractive.
yeah, I mean, evidently there's some fugglies going on up in heaven.
You would think that like the idea of heaven is when you get there, like you are the most attractive version of yourself you could ever be, and then there's just some people, some angels who aren't.
The thing you just said is the most attractive version that you could be. So there's some people that are so ugly when they get to heaven, they're still like a 4.
And they're like, "Ooh, look at me!" And everyone's like, "Yeah, look at you."
Oh my God!
Yikes.
You should have saw them before they got here, bro. So these two good-looking angels come down from heaven, and they disguise themselves as humans. So they cover their wings, I
Yeah, I
guess.
was like, "What is that?"
Hey man, I'll put my halo under this bush. Just remember which bush we hit our halos under. So they go into the city. They're looking for Lot and his family because God has decided he's going to destroy the city. So they go in to like save Lot and his family. As these two good-looking men are walking through this city of sin, that other people are like, okay, some of whatever that is.
They were getting gush gush from these angels walking around looking like just regular people. Okay, I get
Mm-hmm.
it. I see. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if the angels, they'd be like, we've got a job to do. Oh, me? Oh, oh, do it for him. Okay, hold on a second. What? Like 3 weeks later, God's like, you got him yet? And they're like drunk, like on a yacht, like we almost got him, God. We're almost there.
Stop it. Stop playing. Y'all, stop. Why are you following me? No, really. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, one picture. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's the fun version of it. I think the Bible talked about how, like, they were going to assault these guys. So they were that good looking.
Well, there is no that good looking. This is the defense of every like old school dude who's like, well, they shouldn't have been so good looking then. I guess, like we had to assault. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we can all stop ourselves.
Listen, they shouldn't have been wearing their halo like that. They didn't want.
This is just bad people. Can I also just say, I know we have to get through the story, but can I just say this? God made all the people in this world of Christianity and the Bible, right? So like God seems to have this sort of this habit. He's made people. These people turn horrible. They start a party city where everyone's just like doing horrible things. And instead of like being like, I gotta change how I make people, God's like, all right, destroy this other city. Let me try again somewhere else. It just kind of feels like our administration at the moment where they're like, we need to make money. And then they're like, destroy everything. Just, the planet's gone. All right, well, let's save the billionaires and let's try again on Mars. Like that sort of is the feeling of this version of God in here.
God has very 8-year-old boy energy.
Yeah.
Like,
smash the Legos.
Yeah, pretty much. Start all over. It's fine.
Oh boy.
But we're just gonna build the same thing he built the last time.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the same.
So these angel men, they get to Lot's house, and well, you're gonna parts of the story just came back to me, and I'm like, oh, you are gonna love this. So they get to Lot's house. Lot and his family are like, get in here. We'll protect you. They're like, surprise, we're angels. And the men from the city who are like so horny for these good looking dudes come to Lot's house and are like banging on the door, and they're like, hey, send those guys back out here so we can have our way with them.
So it's men loving the men. I love this for the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame that they want to assault them, but I love this man on man love. This is great.
Well, this is how crazy it gets. So they're asking for them to send those two guys back out here. We just want to say hi. Send them back.
Like, look, we know we said we wanted to assault them, but no. Now we just want to say hi. We just want to know their names.
That was Gary. Gary's always leading with assault. Gary, you can't lead with assault. First, you ask them if you can buy them a drink.
Oh God, Gary.
And Lot, this is the part you're going to love so much. So Lot says, why don't I send out my daughters to you instead?
What? The Bible had me for 1 millisecond where I was like, I love this man-loving man. And then this is what happens every time in every story. I'm sorry, my mic's peaking hot right now. This is what happens in every single story. We're sort of just turning a corner where maybe we can make things okay. Nope, sacrifice the women. That's fine. Just put them out there. Have my daughters. I hate Lot right now. I hate Lot so much. Why is God saving Lot? Can God save the daughters from Lot, please?
It's a great question. And also, as I'm telling you the story as I remember it, I hope that's actually in the story and I didn't make it up.
You're just making stuff up.
The worst stuff, like the worst stuff.
Of all the things you could be possibly making up.
Yeah, no, I think that actually really happened. So I think what happens is sort of overnight, they outweight the horde of people outside their house who are like horny for these angel people. Maybe they waited till like the middle of the night and like, let's sneak out because the angels told Lot and they're like, God's going to destroy this place. We got to go. Like, we got to go now. So they get out.
And this is after Lot's put his daughters out.
I think the daughters were fine. So the angels are like, hey, we're going to destroy the city, or God's going to destroy the city. We need to leave, and you're not allowed to look back. You have to leave. You have to have faith. You have to trust us that we're going to take you to a safe place, and you're leaving this place behind, and you're not going to be upset about leaving it behind. So probably skipping some stuff. Lot and his family are like outside the city, and they're fleeing. And Lot's wife, whose name we don't know, Lot's wife.
It's the Bible. Why would you know a woman's name?
Yeah.
Unless
Why
she's
would you
evil.
Why would you need to know what her name is? She's not going to last long. So as they're fleeing, Lot's wife does look back because she loved where they lived. That was her home, and she had
designed
friends
it. She
there.
picked out the like door handles. She picked the paint colors.
She was like the lead of the PTA. Like
Yes.
she had a life.
She's living
know,
her best friend Margaret back there. You know,
Yeah.
Margaret's like, "Where are you going, wife of Lot?"
So okay, Lot's wife looks back, and she turns into a pillar of salt.
Ooh, yikes! That's a
end.
rough one. The end?
I think so.
What, Jonathan? These stories, they just.
Yeah.
What happened to Lot? He got out with the angel. Why couldn't the angels just pick these people up and fly them up to heaven or wherever they were going to go next?
Somewhere along the line, the world has agreed that angels have wings and that they can fly. So that has to come from somewhere. I don't know where. If they were really good-looking angels, I like to think that they were twinks. Can I say that?
So it's funny
Can I say
because
twink on our PG?
I think so.
Yes?
There's nothing
Okay.
wrong with the twin. And
Yeah.
I picture them as like huge, topless, like buff dudes with really
yeah.
good head of hair.
I think they were kind of twinkish on this. So and the reason I say that is because this mob of men were like, send us those boys we can have our way with. Like they probably were just really good looking, like West Hollywood angels, you know, like skinny and frail and like all shoulders and
I
ribs.
hope the people who are listening will now go find the video so you can just see Jonathan's physical like expression of a twink, and it's mostly shoulders. I'll just describe it for you. Mostly shoulders, and he really got proud of himself there though.
When you were talking about, you imagine these angels as big, buff, very like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, like I'm like Terry Crews,
Hemsworth.
bodies like big, thick
Yeah.
pecs that dance when they want them to.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, I don't think they had the energy to pick anyone up.
They could barely flap their own wings.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're like, oh, we're so tired from carrying God through all these stories. Ugh. If God could destroy a city, he could just be like, wallaka bam, and then like transport people.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, God could have been like, oh, I want to save Lot. There, he's right here next to me. Done. And now the city.
No, it's only half a lot. Ah! I cut a lot.
I'm really going to work on my snaps. The angels are like, not again, God. They're all covered in blood. They're like, we'll just go get him next time. Just tell us who you want to save. We'll get them. You don't have to
I
keep
guess I gotta
doing
go make a
this.
new lot. Oh, come on.
That's the thing.
Come on, half lot.
God
Half
could just
lot's like
make
crawling
more
on his hands.
people. I like that. You thought it was the top half. I thought it was the bottom half. Just
Oh, you
legs
thought it was bottom
taken.
half. Yeah, either way. Either way, there's a top half somewhere.
Yeah.
Imagine what's happening with Lot's wife when she sees her husband half cut. She's probably, that's what you deserve for not even letting me keep my name.
She's like, now I'm half Lot's wife. Come on, man. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
She looked back on purpose. She didn't want to live that life anymore. She's like, I'd rather be salt. Bang. Look
Yeah,
back.
I don't remember if she knew she would turn into salt.
I'm
And also, I
guessing
want to
not.
know. Say that again.
I'm guessing not, because I think no matter how much you wanted to look back, no one would choose one last look over being salt.
Why salt, though?
I guess because salt was such a commodity. Maybe they were like, everyone was happy. They're like, yay, we have seasoning for our potatoes.
Everyone's just out there, like, chipping away at
Yeah.
Lot's wife. Oh, man, this is really coming in handy. Do you think it was like a statue and they knew it was her? Or do you think it was
Yes.
just like a pillar?
I think it's a statue, and then they had to like they started with like the shoulders and stuff, and then by the end they're like, we got to do the face now. Sorry, Lot's wife, like cutting a little bit of the nose off, and
Yeah. At some point, they come outside. Some guy's like trying to lick her boobies, and they're like, "Hey, no, no!"
Gary, What did we tell you about assault? Do not lead with assault.
Do not lead assault on the
Assault.
salt with assault.
Yes, we really made it. We came full circle with Gary and the assault.
Also, Gary, you know your sodium be high. What are you doing?
There's doctors out there. How many times have I told you, Gary? You gotta stop with all the salt.
We got to do less salt.
Less salt. Like, try the low sodium version, okay?
There was a lady last week who looked back, low sodium. Head over there on the west side of Sodom and Gomorrah.
What's that spice that's like no sodium and every household has it? What is it called? Mrs. Dash.
Oh, Mrs. Dash.
Remember
I didn't
Mrs.
realize-
Dash?
I knew there was lemon pepper Mrs. Dash. I didn't realize it was low sodium. Is that also low sodium?
Mrs. Dash's whole thing is it has no salt. And it was like a seasoning set for people who need no salt.
I think the Mrs. Dash was very appropriate. I feel like we've sort of rolled our what do we think about this story into it. So is there anything else about the story that you have questions about or thoughts about as we were talking about it?
I mean, as always, these stories end very abruptly. Maybe our next series can be like the exact same stories, but just like what we think happened next. You know what I mean? Because like they all kind of end. And then I want to know, okay, well, where did Lot and the rest of his family, other than Lot's wife, go? Like, what happened next? Were there other people there? Did they have to populate this next city? Like, you know, was God happy with the next city, or did God destroy that one too? Why was God interested in saving Lot? There's so many questions.
I have a feeling that a lot of these stories, just like Saturday Night Live, they just got cut for time.
Yeah, fair.
Their ending, they don't have good endings because they're like, the Bible's already too long, guys. We got to get rid of some pages.
They're like, all the good juicy stuff has been told. Like, let's just leave it there.
And I do apologize to our listeners, and I would love people if they remember how the story ends, or you know, maybe there's some stuff in the middle that I misremembered or left out. You know,
Tell us.
Tell us about how the angels actually did go out and they did party with these guys, and they were like, "Oh, well, you guys were trying to get with us. No, we're gonna get with you."
They're getting back at them is just doing the sex on them.
Doing the sex on you guys, and they're like, "Oh, we weren't expecting that."
You think you're gonna kiss me? No, I'm gonna kiss you. You're like, guys, you're just kissing each other now. That's just all that's happening.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I think it might be time for?
Is it time for our praise break?
I think it is.
Okay. Well, let's start a praise then.
I'm speaking in tongues.
Oh, thank you for explaining. Thank you for explaining what you were doing. Because I didn't know. I don't think our listeners knew either. I think a lot of people thought you fell into like a big bucket of water.
I love that also, like, I'm speaking in tongues, but I'm like, but to tell you I'm speaking in tongues, I just speak normally, and then I go back to speaking in tongues.
Yeah, you have to drop the tongues to just be like, hey guys, I'm about to speak in tongues real quick.
Yeah.
Did you understand me? No, because it was tongues.
They were tongues. Do you speak tongue? I don't think so.
Anybody here speak tongues? That's a fun thing. Does anyone here speak tongues? Like someone's on an airplane just like having.
Someone like, I speak tongues. Oh no, sorry. He speaks French tongues. Oh yeah, I don't have French tongues. I just.
It's that scene from the movie Airplane where it's like, I speak Jav.
I have to rewatch that. I remember watching that as a kid and being so scared when the person. Well, there's a scene where he like throws up eggs or something.
I don't
like
remember.
An egg, a full egg in a shell comes out of his mouth, and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was exactly.
That scared you.
Very much so.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is it because it was an egg or because it was like close to magic, which is close to sorcery, which is the devil's work?
I don't think that one. I think it might have been. I think it was because it just was so, like, the thought of something. I didn't throw up as a kid. I wasn't like a barfer. So, like, the idea of something coming out of your mouth was so scary to me. And then also I didn't like eggs. And a whole egg as a whole, like, not even a digested, like, barf would have been less scary, I think. But a whole egg is just, like, weird. Like it might as well have been like a living animal that came out of their mouth. It was weird.
Sure. Yeah. Did you have like this thought that like because you kind of didn't like eggs anyways, you're like, oh, if I eat an egg, that I might regurgitate a whole egg.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is. If I thought that, I mean, my dad used to also tell us that like if you swallow orange seeds, that an orange will grow out of your head.
Oh, yeah.
And so stuff like that, where I was like, oh, like the mouth is this scary space where
Yeah.
bad things can happen.
No, for sure. I don't know where to go from there.
Yeah, fair. You know what? I've talked us into a real corner here. Okay.
I did have a thought while you were praise dancing, and then you start speaking in tongues, and I lost my thought completely. Oh, this is what I found it. There's this thing that's been sort of been revived on the internet here recently. So depending when you listen to this episode, you might be aware of what I'm talking about. Aisha, have you heard about the pastor that when he went to collect the offering, he told the deacons to lock the doors?
I think I heard someone talking about this thing. Mm-hmm. What's the story there?
So there's this pastor. I know his name. Never would have made it. Whoever sings that song. Love that song. I sing that song. There's a song that's like, never would have made it. Never would have made it without you. It's very beautiful.
Sounds lovely. It sounds like you're just singing about God or like, your partner.
Yeah, I like to sing it when I'm like trying to run to the bathroom. I'm like, never would have made it. Ah. It's like when the elevator's going real slow, you're like hitting the button, you're like, come on. So yeah, that person, I think it's the right person I'm talking about, was getting ready to take an offering, and they like literally, the organ's playing that slow offering music.
Oh, I don't know. I've never.
You never heard the slow offering music?
They play an organ like while you're offering. They just like stop everything while they do the offering.
There's like I think there's always like each church kind of has a vibe. But I do think that for some black churches, probably even white churches too, like the organ, like the idea of giving your offering to God is like this very intimate thing. So the music kind of slows down, and the pastor gets up there and says, ladies and gentlemen of the church, this is the time where we give back to the Lord as he's given to us. It's very sexy. It's very, very sexy.
Okay.
Even though I did go to, this is a completely different story. I was at a church with a friend. We had gone out. We had a party night, me and my friend. We went out, we dancing and partying like we do, but the next morning we were like, let's go to church. And we get to church, and we get there kind of late, and they sit us in this section, and like, I remembering like the people in the section were very like relaxed and hanging out. One guy had his foot up on the edge of the pew. I was like, this is a very progressive church. And during the offering, sometimes like the choir will sing, right? Sometimes like someone will get up and sing a beautiful song and whatnot. And I remember like this lady was singing a song that was very, very beautiful. She was singing a song called I Know My Redeemer Lives. Very popular song at the time. And across the church, it was a pretty big church, across the church, I see this other lady get up, and she's just very animated. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's feeling it. Like, this is a beautiful song. Yeah, like, feel it. And then I see this other guy get up next to her, and then he's like, that. And then I see like these deacons run down and like stop them from fighting.
Oh, they were about to fight.
They were fighting.
About what? About how much money they're putting in the thing?
So me and my friend, we were like, what is happening? And then like we kind of like looked around us, and what we realized that even though that happened across the other part of the church, that we were sitting in the section that was for like unhoused men, and a lot of them were like hungover, also like us, sort of.
Yeah. They're like, you guys, you sit over here.
You guys smell like alcohol. You sit over here.
Yeah.
These other guys. And I think like the church probably had like an outreach program, which is beautiful. But it was just sort of funny and silly to me and my friend. Okay, back to the real thing that I want to tell you about. Okay, so this pastor, he gets up. He's talking about it's time to give of your offerings. And there's a goal. I think the goal was that they wanted to make $40,000, and they weren't going
That night or that day?
that service. So he says there's 1,000 people online. There's more than 1,000 or whatever the number was here watching this in person. If everyone gives $20, we'll hit our goal. Which, sure, but then he starts telling the ushers, he's like, lock the doors. Don't let anyone leave. No, no, no. Lock the doors. And he keeps saying it, and is very aggressive. Lock the doors. And churches in its own way is like concerts now.
Yeah, yeah.
So things are taped, and people are probably also taping with their phones.
Yeah.
And I think that may have happened maybe a year or two ago, but it's like resurfaced, and it's been like this fun thing that people have just been chit-chatting about on the interwebs.
I don't like anything about that. I don't like anything about. I mean, I make jokes all the time about when I'm on stage as a comedian, like lock the doors, we're not leaving. But like honestly, like I don't know, and I think that it would be a funny thing if he was like lock the doors, we all got to do this, but they obviously didn't lock the doors. But if he's like no, lock them, I'm like that's like cultish a little bit. You know what I mean? Like
my guess is that they did lock them. I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably another conversation down the road, just to sort of, I'm like, how do we talk about this playfully? But the power dynamics of some churches, where if the pastor says lock the doors, you lock the doors. Like,
okay, this is just last night I went to go see a show that I was telling you about, called Three Cults Walk Into a Bar.
Okay.
And it's a guy named Uriah who's a comedian here in Los Angeles who's had this crazy life where he was born into a cult. He was kidnapped a bunch of times. He was a member of 3 different cults because his parents were. And at the end, there's this Q&A. And someone asked how he feels about cults now, or like if he thinks there's cult-ish type things, in LA or in different cities. And he's like, yeah, like I see it all the time. He's like, but I'm so hypersensitive to it. If I see like a circle of people standing together that are wearing the same outfit, I'm like, ooh, I got to stay away from them because he's like, that feels like a cult. But he was like, I think for him, he's like, my definition is... What?
Sorry, so he can't just go to McDonald's?
Yeah, no. He's like, oh, it's a cult.
All these people, and they're serving burgers and within a certain amount of time.
They're saying, welcome to McDonald's. I know.
I know what this is.
But he was like, basically, it's like if you are a member of something that takes away your autonomy, where you feel like you must do the thing they say, more so than like keeping yourself healthy, looking after your family, like, if you can't make your own decisions, he's like, that's what is like dangerous about it. So that's where it feels kind of culty, where in this church, if someone's like, lock the door, where you're like, we all know you should never force someone to do anything. You should never lock a door if people want to leave. But if you're like, I guess I have to, like, that's where it's like, ooh, that's kind of scary, because that does seem a little bit like cult-ish.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say also the reason why Matt Lauer lost his job.
Because he locked the doors. Yeah, with the button. Bing. Yeah. This is exactly like if you're forcing people to do things they don't want to, it's a problematic.
Also, if you have a mega church and you got 1,000 people watching you online, you should have a button that locks the doors themselves. I'm just an usher. I don't get paid to be here.
He had just gotten a quote from a contractor of like, how much would it cost for me to have a button that locked the door? Like that Matt Lauer, and they're like $40,000. He's like, all right, thank you.
Oh, you want the Matt Lauer package? Yeah. He's like, no. I don't want how much was
what does that
this?
include exactly? Okay, so I mean, I know that none of this has been related to our story. We just started talking about random things we saw. But what I would like to know, most of these stories from the Bible, I think, are designed to have some sort of moral or lesson. And sometimes it's very hard to find them because they are wild and then they just end.
Oh, so, I know what the lesson is on this one.
What's the lesson for you on this one? Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
Lot's wife, you better listen to your husband.
It's about Lot's wife.
If not...
This whole story is just about Lot's wife? Oh, my God.
Not Lot's wife. You're going to turn into a pillar of salt, boy. I tell you what. Jambalaya.
There are so many ways we could have taught Lot's wife the message she was, but they're like, no, we're going to do this whole thing with angels. They're trying to assault. Gary's trying to assault the angels again. Okay, we got all kinds of stuff we're going to do. So this is what you really think the message is?
I mean, I think that there probably is with a lot of these biblical stories, looking at how women are referred to as property, things to be given to men. the reason the fall of men. There probably is a little bit of in there of like how women are supposed to behave. The idea that we could just give my daughters to this angry mob, and if you look back as if you're going to miss this place, then you want to be punished. Maybe I just made it up. Maybe because I thought that would be funny and it's something I wanted to say to make you laugh. But I do think the other
part of it, they're like, women, you should listen to your men, is their moral. Where I'm like, nope, no, thank you.
the fact that this city was called Sodom, and we know about sodomy already, like, kind of tells you a little bit of like how the Bible thinks about this place.
Yeah.
I don't know about Gomorrah. Gomorrah was a character in Marvel. I don't know if we like her or not.
This is a hard one because I hate this story so much. I just hate it. I hate it so much.
You had
There's
like
so much
one moment
about
of
it.
joy. You had one moment of joy in this story, and then it got taken away from you so quickly.
Ripped away from me so quickly and in such a violent fashion. I just hate this story so much. And so I'm trying really hard to be like, what could be the possible message? And I think we were maybe on it with this idea of, you know, when you're in a bad place, like in life, right? Like you're making bad choices, maybe your mental health isn't great, or you're within a bad relationship, a bad job, whatever. And the idea of moving on from it, leaving it behind and moving to something different that could have the potential to be better and healthier. And we, as humans, I think it's hard to make change. And so sometimes there's this thing of like, let's move forward, but wait a minute, that it's uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable, even if it's for the better. And so we tend to like look back and nostalgize like what was once before, whatever. And maybe the message that I can take away is it wasn't good. And so we like don't look back because of course we know that there were good times there. So we're always going to be able to find something positive. But if you keep moving forward and looking forward, you're going to be free of the negative situations you had before. You're going to have something new with the potential to be better. So that's the one message where I'm digging deep. Okay. I'm putting my pride on the shelf and I'm digging deep to find something good in this story. And I think that's what I'm going to take away from it.
Well, I mean, I think like as you dug deep and as you laid that out, you know, I think that those are perhaps maybe that is the parallel there. You know, maybe the situation is maybe your Sodom and Gomorrah is a bad working environment. Maybe your Sodom and Gomorrah is a bad relationship.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that is the thing that when God sends you an angel, a proverbial angel, to help you get out, get out.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's more succinct and nice. Like if you get an angel, don't pass it up. Go.
Don't pass it up.
Don't look back at Margaret. She's got nothing for you anymore. Margaret wasn't even your friend.
Margaret had a whole name.
Margaret had a whole name, and she just always called you Lot's wife. You think that's not disrespect? Margaret did not respect you. Oh, poor her. In fairness, I feel bad for Margaret because she's with Gary, who doesn't know not to assault people as the first move. I feel like I have pity for Margaret now. This is the thing. You have a whole story. Even the bad people have a whole story. You know, not everybody's fully bad.
I think that's
fully bad.
I think we did the story.
I think we did. I think that's all. That's all we did. The moral. We talked about it. I hated it. So you know, I think we've gone through.
Yeah. The story's not a story unless Aisha hates how it ends.
Yeah, and unless there's a point where I'm like, come on, more.
I do want to give you some hope. There's probably more than we think if we like really extrapolated like the relationships in the Bible, but there is one male friendship that I think if we really look at it, it was like two men who loved each other.
See, and I here's the thing, we know that this was happening all the time back then, and the Bible knew. And the stories that they have sort of touch on it and then go in a different direction, or touch on it and then like shame it or whatever. But you know, like, you know, I just wish the Bible would just like maybe do some of its own work. You know, go to therapy a little bit and accept and stop hatred and just love itself enough to be like, yeah, men love men, women love women, men love women, women love men. People who are non-binary love people who are non-binary. You know, this is just about love in the end.
It's a very like, and again, I'm gonna speak to it as a person who doesn't know much about like theology and stuff, but I do think it's a very westernized European look at male relationships because I have spent a little bit of time in, more of like the Middle East part of the world. Like male relationships in that part of the world, I think a lot of people here would look at that and be like, oh, look at those guys dancing together. Two
Yeah.
men walking down the street holding hands. What?
Yes. Yes.
So I do think like the version of the Bible that I was taught and like grew up reading, maybe some of that sort of like guy on guy love, like even like meaning it like true affection for each other may have been scrubbed out just because of people's own insecurities about like the subject and
I
whatnot.
think 100%. Like, yeah, if you go to different, like, when I lived in Korea, groups of men would go out dancing all the time. Like, businessmen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude bros would be out dancing and having a great time and, like, enjoying their life and not feeling self-conscious about it. Yeah, like, Middle Eastern men, like, holding hands and, like, hugging and kissing cheeks and stuff. And it's like, this is just, like, love. Like, you can, like, we're all loving in this way, but then you come to the Western society, they're like, "What? No, you can't enjoy each other's company. You shouldn't be too close. Don't show affection to each other." You're like, no wonder men, you know what I mean? Like, don't know how to show affection because they're told it's wrong, it's shameful, and all these things. And then you're like, oh, why are all these men who come from these like families that shame that? Why are they not good to their wives? And you're like,
Right.
oh. They don't know how to show love, or they're jealous of their wives who get to show love with their friends and their families and their kids and all this stuff. And they're like, I want that. Give it to me. We should be able to like show each other that we love each other all the time, whether that's romantic love or platonic love or anything in between. Like that should be welcomed, especially in this world where we just all need love so much more because everything's crumbling around us for everybody. And I'm not just talking like my side, everyone's side. It's turning to crap for everybody. So can we just start loving each other? There we go. I'm done my
I
rant.
like it. I think that's a beautiful place to land the plane.
I think so too. I want to thank you for the story, even though I hated it. Okay.
I want to thank you for being a willing participant in this story and all the stories we've told this first season of Let's Get Biblical.
Yes, I'm here for it. I love it. I actually think I love the idea of religion and about religion being about love and not about like what other people do or shaming anybody else, but being like everyone's perfect. There are no mistakes in how people are made, whether you are a man, a woman, a non-binary person, a trans person, if you're gay, if you're straight, if you're something in between, there are no mistakes. And so if we can embrace all that stuff and then you decide to believe in a God or these stories or whatever, go for it, but let's all come from a place of love. Or if you're like me who just thinks like, let's celebrate all the fun things from every religion and like talk about spirit and the universe and Mother Nature.
I like it when animals talk.
That's the best comment from this whole rant is just, I like it when animals talk. Because I don't even know what that means. Is that a religion? Is that just something you
favorite stories?
Like this whole time I've been talking, your brain's like, dum, dum, dum. Imagine if dogs could say hello.
I like in the Bible when animals talk.
I thought you just meant in general. Just a statement. Just a statement about life and things you're thinking about these days.
I like it when animals talk.
Oh, gosh.
We're not too far off. Okay, maybe we should wrap it up before I should say anything else more stupid than I have in the last 45 minutes.
I love it so much. Thank you guys so much for listening and having a huge biblical giggle with us, as always. Couple snorts in there. Let's Get Biblical. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever else you might listen to your podcasts. If you liked it, spread the good word like Jesus would have wanted. Tell your friends, rate, subscribe. Get Jonathan to do an interpretive dance while you do your outro. It is the best.
I was doing karate, but follow us on IG at Let's Get Biblical Pod and comment so we know who you are and what you liked or hated about the story. Do you have? Oh, say that again.
I said it's okay to hate it too.
It's okay to hate, as long as you
as long as that
procreate
hatred comes from love. That's a good one.
from love.
Yeah.
And if you have a favorite Bible story, or maybe even a Bible story that you don't really get, and you want us to try to figure it out together, tell us what it is. Drop a line, slide in our DMs, all the stuff. Let us know which one it is, and we'll feature it on the show at some point. But besides that, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you guys have a great time.
Peace be with you.
Peace be with you.